having a square that is going to be 2 feet by 2 feet, and it's going to be on legs. This is more than likely going to be a square skid construction, so it'll be rigid to the legs. You won't have to worry about them collapsing or getting bent, and it'll also help ease of transportation because you'll be able to easily put it onto a set of rollers or a dolly and transport it. We chose a 2 foot by 2 foot square so that we'd have, we want to put in like medium-sized rocks, not something super huge, just to get them down to a smaller size. And we thought having this size would be good for also the weight requirement and the ability to transport it easily. There is, you can't see it, but there is a cut out in the base of this so that the rocks, actually you can't see it here, but the rocks will fall down into the jerry cans below, and then we have hollowed out areas to reduce weight.
Okay. Sweet. So what we're designing is a jaw crusher. What makes our concept different than other jaw crushers is we're trying this thing called indexable jaws. So over time we're assuming that jaws are going to wear with rocks. So to make it indexable, we're going to use square stock that actually slide into the chamfered channels within the plate. And then over time you'll get 4 uses per piece of stock. And then if they need more and more over time, they can cut stock into certain lengths and be able to insert them. So that's kind of our idea behind the jaws. Next slide. As you can see here, it's just a plate, and then we have 2 pillow blocks that embed bearings, so you can buy pillow blocks already pre-made with bearings inserted. And then if we need additional torque, we can manufacture a sprocket. A lot of this can be water jet, so we're thinking of manufacturing ahead of time, and we have that capability here on campus. So just kind of thinking of how we can make these things. Next slide. Should be a closer view of this. We had different ideas of having X and Y movement. There's different types of jaw crushers, as well as having just a stationary, only moving in this direction. So there's a lot of possibilities, but with the jaw, it's really simple in the sense that it's just a plate with indexable jaws. Next slide. And then this is here just kind of showing the movement here. One's fixed, the other is actually moving. So.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you go to that one slide?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so with our design, the motion of the jaw ends up being represented as a rotation about the axis of where that cam sat, and then then the whole jaw will kind of angle depending on how it's connected to linkages down here. But that gives us the option to really precisely control how the jaw actually moves when it's crushing rocks. Yes, sir.
No, that's fine. And then here's a side view of how we would mount it to a frame or to joints on the frame itself. So these pieces are water jet here. The plate is also water jet with just a blank slab. And then what you can do is chamfer mill all the slots as well as our clamping pieces for the indexable jaws. I know it's going really far into manufacturing, but we're just kind of trying to think of that stuff ahead of time.
So this would be a spring assembly we would have attached to the back of the plate. So when the cam moves the plate forward, crush the rocks, the spring would be in tension, and that would then bring the plate back to its rest position for it to be, continue crushing rock.
And this is how we come up with the handle when used at the panel. And for this, we're going to attach to the crusher at like key block with the safety pin on the top.
Yeah, this is our idea for kind of like a safety mechanism for the entire machine. There would be a top enclosure that sits on top of it when it's actually crushing, and it would come down and press on this pin, releasing the gear that actually allows the entire cam assembly to spin. And so it creates a situation where you can't actually operate the machine while the lid's open. Can you go all the way back to that first big gear? Yeah. And with this big gear, just for durability, we can actually attach this gear using shear pins. That way, if anything actually fails during operation, this sprocket will just free spin, and all you have to do is change out a couple of small screws.
And that's what we got. Any questions? All right. Perfect.
Start a new file.